Hello there. This is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. A man can be multifaceted. Now, you know what? Anybody who's read Nice Guys and Players, they'll tell you. I say the real man. That's the level beyond select and non-select. You know, it's interesting. So many people talk about that one thing, but if you actually read my book, I tell men how to get even beyond that. And that's the real man. You know? That man is multifaceted. If you a famous when he was a dating advisor, Tariq Nasheed, he talked about the urban renaissance man. That's that man who was able to exhibit the 4 P's that Tariq Nasheed talked about. That man had the player skills, but he also had the money making skills of a professional. You know, he exhibited the pushover thing at appropriate moments. He didn't let it go out of control. Like if a woman did something nice for him, he could get her some flowers, and then if necessary, he could be that straight thug like a parolee. All right. I've talked about the house of the man, as promoted by Master Yao and Yamache Morris. The house of the man, that's the man who could be the warrior. He could be the protector, you know, the warrior who's a protector. He could be that hunter who gets the money. He could get that ego who could see ahead, use that logic to make a plan. And he could be that healer that knock a woman out in the box. Other authors have come up with something similar. And then coming up, the game was to be a thorough brother. And a thorough brother just meant, yeah, he could be that jock, but also do well in school, right? That's a normal thing. Now, what made me bring this back up? Well, on a comment the other week on one of my videos, because every now and then I get somebody, you know, I talk about something with dealing with man gets woman, and some guy said, well, instead of spending that time getting women and stuff, maybe focus on like some STEM and something like that, like the science and everything. And I just answered the guy, I was like, why don't you just do both? Who says you can't be both? Who says a man, look, let me be clear, abundantly clear, because it's scary how a lot of men don't get these concepts. And these concepts, this ain't some Western culture thing. This goes back to the history of civilizations. Indeed, in indigenous cultures, through a rites of passage, a man was expected to be multifaceted. Who says you can't be that man who can get women, or even study, or even look into how to get women, but then also hit the books as well? Who says you can't be that jock? You know, when I was in high school, I remember we had a lot of athletes who would go on to play college ball who were also National Honor Roll guys. Let me say that again, National Honor Roll guys. Who would go to college on a football or basketball scholarship, and then afterwards would do very well, would become professionals. I remember one such guy, I don't know if he wants his name mentioned on here. Let's just say he got a very landmark position. I'll leave it at that. But who's to say you can't be that guy who say, hey, you going to hit the gym, you know, be that real star athlete, but then also be a Dean's List student. I remember at my college, there was a gentleman. He was like, he would be the star point guard. He was the lead point. He was the starting point guard on a team that would win the conference championship. And he was also a Dean's List student. And it was funny one time, it was me and him in a class, a biology class. We were just kind of going over notes with each other. And this teacher, who I guess thought was helping up a couple black kids, it was like, hey, what sport y'all play? And, you know, the guy said, well, I play basketball. I said, nah, I just play intramural football, right? He gave us the answers. I guess he thought he was helping us out. We just say, oh, okay, we already knew the answer. But, you know, who's to say that's normal? Who says you can't be both? See, too many guys Too many guys get caught up in one thing. They think it's a either or. No, it's a both. It's very important. A man can do very much. You know, a man can be multi-talented in multiple areas. He can be smart in multiple areas. You know, a term I've used is genius bruiser. That's in that same thing. You can be both the hulking or real muscular guy, martial artist or whatever. Somebody could hurt somebody, but then have a high IQ. Who says you can't? You know, very smart. Or the term Cousin Tito used, a Malik. Somebody who got, he got that intelligence. That's the same guy who could, he could run out there in the streets with the gangs, but then go play, quarterback on the varsity football team in high school and also be the captain of the chess team. Who says you can't? Ain't no laws against that. Every man should do that. Every man should maximize who he is. He shouldn't limit it. There's no excuses to limit it. There's no excuses to limit it. You gotta be, because I'm gonna tell you what, going through life is not convenient. Let me say that again. It is not convenient. If you only skilled in one area, it'd be nice if, everything that happened to you came along with your, appeal to whatever your education was or whatever you got skills in. And yeah, you probably go far as long as you stay there. But what happens when you walk in the street? You might be walking with your lady. What happens? What you gonna do when somebody come up and say, "Hey, baby," might even touch your woman? And I've actually seen a video of that. Do you got it in you to like beat the shit out that person and pop them? You might have to, Or if you on more on that street side and stuff, okay, that's cool. Yeah, you can be that goon and everything. But what happens when you gotta make some money? You gotta use your intelligence. You screwed then, ain't you? Goons only go so far. You still gotta hit those books. You still got to do something. You still got to get some training to have a job, even if it's just a certification. You still got to go through it. And who's to say you can't like multiple things? You ain't stuck in the shoe. You can be that type. I'm going to tell you something with me. I'm that type. I got some deep ass books. I even did a video on some of the books I have. And anybody who's watched some of my videos, I'll do like something right in front of my bookcase. And you be saying there's books in there ranging from deep, very deep metaphysics to some graphic novels, comic books and stuff. But who's to say you can't do both? Who's to say I can't go deep on some PhD level on some deep metaphysical science and then talk about how the art was bad in some Spider-Man comic book? Incidentally, that was just an example. I don't collect Spider-Man. But anyway, who's to say you can? And then after I do all that, go say, okay, I'm going to head to the gym. I'm going to go throw up my 200, 300 pounds. Or then go to the boxing gym that's near me and do my thing. Who's to say you can't? Everybody can do that. Every man shouldn't be just a one-trick pony. Every single man should have multiple things he can do. He should have multiple things, multiple talents. In this day and age, we got to have the man stand up. You got to have the man be the best he can be. Don't put yourself in a corner. Shoot, you can be beyond that. And so many men running around, they got all these buried gifts because they think, oh, I can't do it. Shit, please, you don't know what you can do. You got the capability. You're not stuck. Even in my book, Nice Guys and Players, when I talk about select and non-select, that's a diagnostic tool. You get all these people talking about it, oh, they don't like it and shit. It's a diagnostic tool. That's why I have a problem when you get some men who call themselves non-select. I was like, dude, that's just to tell you where you are. You supposed to go beyond both of them. Even select, you supposed to go beyond it. I get some guys who talk about, hey, they want to be Mr. Goodbar, but if you read my book, I'm telling you how to go beyond that. So, any man can be multifaceted. multifaceted. A man can be multifaceted. So that's all I got for today. I'll talk to y'all. Peace and blessings.